Let's get to our first email today. And our first email today comes to us from our friend Terry Mullens, who writes, I saw the box office report from this weekend, and I was really surprised to see that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse only made $35 million. The movie is amazing. What went wrong? I was expecting it to make a lot more. All right, thanks a lot for the email there, Terry. And just for know what we're talking about, let's take a look at the box office report from this weekend. The box office numbers have come in. Number one, of course, was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, knocking out Ralph Breaks the Internet, which had been in the number one spot for 3 weeks in a row. So we got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse at $35.4 million. We got The Mule, the new Clint Eastwood, the new Clint Eastwood film, making surprisingly $17.2 million. That's more than I thought it was going to make. Dr. Seuss's The Grinch hanging in there, 11.5. Guys, this Grinch movie is better than you might think. It's certainly better than I thought it was going to be. Ralph Breaks the Internet, wonderful film, comes in with another $9.5 million. And Mortal Engines, a $100 million movie, made $7.5 million. Now, we'll talk more about Mortal Engines in a little while. But as far as Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Robert, you hear $35 million. Was that a surprise to you at all?
No, because that's about what it was tracking at. I've heard
yes.
it's made a little bit more than what it was tracking at. But, here's the thing. People are used to seeing these big budget. I think a lot of people, especially general audiences, are like, wait a minute. We're getting these big live action Spider-Man movies. We're getting Spider-Man in Infinity War. Now we're going to watch some animated film called Into the Spider-Verse. I think the perception from the general audiences might have been that this was sort of a second-rate movie.
Well, dude, look, that was my impression at first.
And I think this movie, you're going to see word of mouth carry this film. It's going to have legs. I think it's going to play all through the holiday season. I think people are going to go see it. People are going to find out that it's as wonderful as it apparently is. It's just a question of, it's an animated Spider-Man movie. People are getting a live-action Spider-Man movie. They're getting a movie that made $2 billion with Spider-Man in it this year. This is a second Spider movie. Actually, it's a third if you count Venom. And people are like, look, we got a live-action Venom movie. I think that this is new. A big-budget, widescreen, animated superhero epic has really never been done before other than, say, The Incredibles? Which wasn't based on a licensed property. It was an original Pixar property.
That's an original Pixar, yeah.
So I think I don't think this is disappointing. I think it's new, and I think it's charting new ground, and I think it's better or it's going to be great for everyone because it proves that widescreen, big-budget, animated superhero films are viable at the box office. Hopefully, it'll make a lot of money.
I think there's two things to keep in mind here when talking about whether or not this was, disappointing or not. One of the things you so accurately pointed out, this is what it tracked at. They early they were tracking 25 to 30. Then they said anywhere between 30 and 40. And then they said 30 to 35 was the final number they landed on. And it came out, it did exactly what they were expecting. And I think for all the reasons that you were pointing out, we've got tons, not only a lot of other Spider-Man, we've got live action Spider-Man going on with the true Spider-Man, Peter Parker in the role. This is a Spider-Man, like Miles Morales has been around for about 15 years now?
Yep.
But to most people, a lot of the average movie going on has never heard of Miles Morales, things like that. So there was all that. You got to keep that in mind as well. The other thing, too, why we shouldn't have expected any more out of this is, traditionally speaking, when on the few occasions that Hollywood has tried taking a recognized comic book characters and doing them in wide release animated films, the results have never been that good. Check this out. For instance, going back, all the way back to a great superhero animated film, Batman Mask of the Phantasm, right? Opening, that was a wide release film.
Yep.
It made $1.1 million on its opening weekend, ended up with a total of $5.7 million. Just recently, they did the Teen Titans movie, right? Now, granted, that's more of a kid's movie. Be that as it may, it's comic book characters being used in an animated film. Opened at $10.4 million and didn't end up making its budget back at $51.8 million. So now we get Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Hey, it crushes all those previous numbers with $35 million. And what's it total going to be? Now, it is going to run into a problem here. And the problem that Spider-Man is going to run into is a problem we've seen coming for a very, very long time. We've got two other movies opening now this next weekend that are both also very well reviewed and people in the same demographic are going to go for, and that's Bumblebee, which, by the way, is stupid good. I mean, I'm still shocked that I liked Bumblebee, but it's really, really good. I even liked it a little bit more than Aquaman. And Aquaman, the aforementioned Aquaman, which is getting really good reviews as well. So that is going to be the problem that it has. But I do believe that you're right. Word of mouth is going to carry it. This is going to be a profitable movie.
Yep.
It's not going to be gangbusters, huge blockbuster, but it doesn't need to be. It's going to be profitable. And it's one of the best films of the year, and I just enjoyed it thoroughly. So, no, I don't think any of us should be surprised, nor is it a big letdown. I think it's doing quite well for an animated superhero film.
Mm-hmm.
We don't count, again, The Incredibles because, like you said, that's not a comic book movie.
Right.
So it's doing pretty damn well. And let's see if it can start a new trend so maybe more of these can come. We already know Sony's already talking about doing a sequel to this thing. So, hey, let's see how this thing all turns out.